Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? It's like focusing right up on me. It is 12:09 a.m. and I'm gonna vlog and then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go to bed early. I have my training session tomorrow, which I have not been great about attending. So I'm getting back on track tomorrow is my goal. And what is like sticking through there? And I wanna get a good night's sleep. I had such a fantastic, relaxing day today. I really didn't do a whole lot. Well, I didn't really do, this camera keeps on sinking down. I didn't really do anything today at all. We woke up and we laid in bed with the dogs and we talked and just had kind of a nice late morning. And then we went to brunch and had a really good time at brunch. One of our favorite waiters that only like works in there like one day a week was there. So we talked to him a bunch. And then afterwards, what did we do afterwards? Oh, I had like to talk to on the phone to some sober friends of mine. So Alex came back and he like fed the dogs and did a bunch of stuff around the house. And I was like only talking to them for like an hour. And then I came back and then he was watching a TV show. I did something else when I came back. I can't remember what I was gonna do. Well, we didn't leave brunch until like 3:15, 3:30. So that would have been like 5. Yeah, I got back and then we were gonna watch Maw tonight, the movie Maw, because we've been wanting to watch that. And so he was catching up on TV shows in bed and I was like, I'm gonna take a nap. Like, I'm not gonna make videos today. I had a bunch of videos I wanted to make and I was like, you know, I think I'm just, because by then it would have got up so late. They would have got up at like 7 or 8. So I was like, I'm just going to relax and take a nap and hang out with Alex. So that's what I did. So I took a nap for like 2 hours with him and the dogs and we all just kind of laid in bed. It was nice. He fell asleep at some point too. And then we both kind of woke up at like 8 o'clock and I had a weird dream. I told him what it was. What was it? What did I tell him? It was like, it was about somebody famous. It was so funny. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I had a dream that something had happened to Donatella Versace. And I woke up and I was like, he was like, what were you dreaming about? You were like talking in your sleep. And I said, something happened to Donatella Versace. And he was like, oh, that's random. I go, I know. Maybe it's because I've been like watching a lot of like New York Fashion Week and stuff that's been going on with all of that. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, so that was so then he was like, well, I started getting up and he was like, are you getting up right now? And he was like, you can lay down for a little bit longer if you want to. And I said, well, I already slept for like 2 hours. I got my hairdo tonight. I said, I already slept for like 2 hours. And he said, well, you can sleep for a little bit longer if you want because I'm still finishing up this TV show. He was watching some show and I said, okay. So I slept till like 9. It was so nice. But then I got up and it was like, I had slept so much last night and then I took that super long nap and it was like I slept too much. And so then I was going to the grocery store to get us snacks for the movie and he was getting like everything set up for the movie. So I went to the grocery store. The line for the self-checkout was like so long. I mean, literally, it was so long. It was like 10 carts in front of me. I almost like pushed my cart to the side, but I got this huge thing of Mums. All those Mums that I showed in my vlog the other night, you guys, it's now down to like 10 or 15 Mums, and they're the most expensive ones. But I got this huge pot. I only bought one. I was like, I'm not gonna buy a bunch of them. So I bought one pot of plums. I said, one pot of Mums, and they were $29.95, but they're beautiful. And then I got a pumpkin for $8. So I got that, and then I just got some candy and stuff, which I only ended up eating one box. I didn't even finish the box. I got goobers. I don't know why that cracks me up so much, but I got a box of goobers, and I got him he wanted some Nerds, and I got him 2 boxes of Nerds. So, you know, he loves the sours. I don't like the sours, and I don't eat all that anyway. I just mostly eat like chocolate and stuff. So anyway, yeah, and then we watched Maw. I thought it was really, really good. I was surprised because I don't know what's going on with this camera. It's not wanting to like sit still. I don't know. I heard a lot of people say they didn't really like it and that it got bad reviews and stuff like that. I thought it was really well done. I mean, right out of the gate, it kind of gets right into the story. And Juliette Lewis is in it. I haven't seen her in anything in a long time. She was really great in it too. But it just was kind of like right away, you could tell that it was going to be... So it's kind of a revenge story, but you don't really know why she's seeking revenge. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it is graphic. Like, it is really graphic. I mean, at the end, I was like doing this job kind of thing, you know? And, yeah, there was but it was like weirdly realistic too. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It just was kind of weird. It was weirdly realistic. It was good. It was really suspenseful. I mean, as far as a movie that like a scary movie, a horror movie that's like scary, you know, a suspenseful, I probably would give it like a 4 point. Alex said, he goes, it was just okay. That's what he said. But I would have given it like a 4.4. I like the suspense movies. Like, that's what I like, is when they're real suspenseful and stuff like that. So, yeah. Do you remember I wanted a Jeep Wrangler so bad, and I would talk about it on here all the time? There's a Jeep Wrangler over here. And it's a 2-door Jeep Wrangler. And I think the 2-door Jeep Wranglers are cute too, but like, if you're gonna get a 2-door, why wouldn't you get a 4-door? Although the 4 doors, I think, are so much more expensive, aren't they? I don't know, I looked at a 4-door. I think Alex looked at a 2-door though. Like a brand new 2-door, because he leases his cars. I'm glad I got the Cherokee. Why is it so cold in here? I don't even have it set that low. What am I doing? It's 72 degrees outside. It's really not that, it feels like perfect outside. I took the dogs outside right before I left. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm tired. I don't like my mind is kind of like tired, like relaxed, you know? I've just been so relaxed all day today. I wanted to start the new book club book. But I didn't start that today. I talked to Mel for a while too. I talked to a lot of people today, it feels like, on the phone. I talked to Mel, and I talked to a bunch of recovery friends. I did not talk to Tanya today. And who else did I talk to? Valerie and I were texting. You know, it's funny, like, I'll get on the phone with one of my friends and they'll start like, we'll just like, you know, catch up, because it's like, you know, we talk like every 3 or 4 days or whatever, and they'll be like telling me stuff about the kids and their husbands, and it's like, you know, all of a sudden 45 minutes later goes by and you're like, okay, we've talked about like what you had for dinner. Oh my God, I tried this, excuse me, new recipe, and it was really good. And you know, so the kids loved it, my husband loved it, and I'm like, oh really, what was it? And they're like, oh, you should try it. I'm like, well, I don't cook. And they're like, oh, I always forget that, you know. It's like that conversation, and we talk recovery stuff and who we saw at a meeting or something, you know. And it's like, oh, I ran into so-and-so at the meeting. Oh, you did? Oh, I haven't seen him in forever, you know, stuff like that. It's just, it's nice. It's kind of like a weird, I wouldn't say it's like a weird world, because it is. I mean, it just is. I mean, it's normal to me, you know? But like, sometimes I'll get off the phone and Alex will be like, I mean, because obviously Alex knows all these people, right? And so he'll be like, were you guys talking about like such and such? And I'll be like, well, what do you mean? He's like, you guys just talk about like, just like the language that we use, or like, you know, somebody will say something like, oh, well, back in the day when, you know, and he's just like, I can't, it's just crazy to me the conversations you have. The other thing that's funny to Alex is like, that like we'll meet somebody in sobriety and then like go and have coffee with them and hang out and exchange numbers, and like literally within like 24 hours we're like that good of friends because we've shared things like that, you know, deep with each other. So yeah. So that was my day. It was a good day. I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about my day. We were supposed to do the camera this weekend, and we never got to it. It's sitting right on the kitchen counter, and I said something to him twice about it. We didn't get to it, and then one time he said something to me about it. And I thought today we would hang out with like Fufu and the family, but nobody ever texted him, he said, so I don't think they maybe were doing anything. And Fufu goes back tomorrow, but we see him in a week, like week and a half, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. We're going out there. So I gotta call Susie and figure out if we're gonna visit Susie in Denver. I want to finish Orange is the New Black so bad. I keep on saying I'm going to finish it, and then I don't finish it. And I only have a couple episodes left, and I keep on not finishing it. Why is it so cold when I have it set to like 68 in here? It's not making any sense. I can't believe we're halfway through September already. It's like today was like the halfway mark through September. It seems so bizarre to me. Just going so fast. And we need to figure out if we want to take another trip before we go to Miami in March. Because if not, like, if we go to Denver, but if we don't go to Denver, we probably won't go anywhere until March, which is like good anyway, because then we get to save money. And you know, he and I really like to kind of just what do you call it, hibernate in the winter. Like, he doesn't really like to go out a whole lot in the winter. He does a lot in the summer, but he doesn't in the winter. PB was, oh, I know what today was. PB coughed a lot today. Like, it was a lot. And I don't know who said this on my vlog the other day, but I just want to thank you because it really got me through today. Because there are days that he coughs a lot, but today was like, he coughed a lot. Like when I was asleep, because it woke me up each time that I was asleep, and he coughed like 5 times, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Like there are days that he doesn't cough at all. So to cough like 5 hours in the span of 2 hours, or 5 times in the span of 2 hours is a lot. And then it was like, he coughed once while we were watching the movie. He coughed like twice earlier today. So it was like a total of like, what is that, 7, 8, 9 times today, you know, something like that. I don't know how many times, but like at least 7 or 8. And it really stressed me out. And then I remembered that somebody said, I think this was just yesterday I read this comment. Somebody said, you know, that's kind of how it is when you have a sick dog. Like, there are days that they're good, there's days that they're not. There's days that they, like, are running in the backyard. There's days that they, like, run around, like, and, like, are walking around, like, you know, they can hardly walk. And I think that kind of, like, it sadly defines where PP is. You know, there's days I look at him where you can tell in his face, like in his eyes, he's really sharp, like that day. Like he knows what's going on, he's playing with the puppies. And then there's other days where he's just like sitting there and he's like so relaxed, he's kind of like out of it, and his face looks like this. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, like, it makes me sad. I mean, I understand he's not gonna live to be 100, you know? And he's got all of this stuff going on, but what is going on with this light? Why is it not changing? This light never changes, I swear. And if you're sitting here and you sit at it for like 25 minutes, I'm gonna go through here and turn around. It'll probably change as soon as I get up there. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Nope, it still hasn't changed. still hasn't changed. Turn signal's still not on. But it made me, oh, it never did, twice it went through and never turned on the turn signal. Good thing that I did what I did. But, so whoever left me that comment, thank you. It really meant a lot to me, and it really helped me today, because I was stressed about it, you know? And the thing is like, he coughs, and then he's fine right after that. And then he coughs, and he's fine right after that. And when I call the vet, and I say something about it, you know, I mean, I call the vet all the time anymore. It's like I call, you know, talk to her about the food this last week when I have to pick up more food tomorrow. You know, I talked to her about the food, and she was like, you know, gave me suggestions, and she's so nice. She always takes my call, or her assistant will call me back, you know, or whatever, but I sometimes feel like I'm burdening her, and she's always like, don't even worry about it, Peter. She's like, you guys have 3 dogs. She's like, you know, I mean, we have people that call us all the time. She's like, it's what I do, you know? And she's fantastic. But when I do ask her about the cough, she'll say, I mean, Peter, this is part of what's going on with heart disease. You know, this is what it's gonna be. And I know that, but at the same time, I know that we're trying to get rid of the cough. And when he's loaded up on all of these meds and the cough is still there, it stresses me out. It worries me for him, you know? Plus, it's like in the middle of when he's coughing, he's like, and then like as soon as it's over, it's like he's forgotten he was even coughing. Like he's completely fine. But bum, 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 bum. I was sitting here thinking, like, I haven't finished any TV shows this year, but that's not true. I've watched Pose the whole season, RuPaul's Drag Race. I finished Grace and Frankie. There was something I wanted to talk about tonight. Now I don't remember what it was. When Mel and I were talking, she was finishing The Woman in the Window, and she said she didn't like it. I mean, I kind of understand, though, why she doesn't like it, but I thought it was so good. The Woman in the Window and Behind Her Eyes and a lot of those books that came out last year, it was kind of like the trend of the untrustworthy narrative, and what that means, or narrator, and what that means is that, like, you don't know if you can trust, like, what they're telling you, like, in the book, right? But they're the ones telling the story. It's a literary term, so you don't know if you can trust, you know, what they're telling you. And, I mean, they could, you know, basically be narrating this whole idea that at the end is totally untrue, makes no sense. And Behind Her Eyes, I believe she was an alcoholic in that book. I believe, like, that was part of the book. It's been a long time since I read it, I don't know. Last night I said that the vlog wasn't going to be really long, and it ended up being like an hour, over an hour long. Do you hear that rattling in the back? So I still have our 2 patio chairs back there. And I'm going to McDonald's and getting a Diet Coke, by the way, in case you wondered. And then, which I'm sure you didn't. And then I also have my friend, I picked him up and we went and got his bike the other day, and it's his bike tire pump is in the back of my car. And it's this big metal thing. And it's in the back of my car. So it's rattling back there now too. We had those chairs in there this whole summer, didn't use them like one time. I don't think we ever used them. Oh no, we did. 4th of July for about 20 minutes maybe, sitting in Melissa's driveway or something. I don't know how long we were out there, but I used one. Maybe Melissa used one too, I don't remember. I talked to Melissa today about Friday the 13th. Oh, I know what I called Melissa about today. This was so sad. So we used to have Marsh grocery stores here, and it was like I don't think they were just to Indianapolis, but I do know that it was David Letterman's sister married the guy who owns Marsh, because my mom went to high school with her and was friends with her in high school. And my mom, like, if you haven't heard me tell this story, so like my mom and her friends would like go to pick up David Letterman's sister in high school, and when they were like junior seniors, he was like 8th grade, 9th grade, something like that. And all of his friends would be like sitting around like watching TV, like on the floor, and my mom would like tell stories how she totally remembered him. And she went to like some book signing, and he like signed it to her and like made this huge production that he knew who she was and all this kind of stuff. She got a real kick out of it. So anyway, she always loved David Letterman. But she was like, it's really funny because I remember him when he was like, you know, 13, 14, 15, you know, in high school and stuff. And she was like, he was like this nerdy guy. And she's like, now he's this super famous person. Isn't that funny? Okay, thank you. I don't think it matters when I come through here. It seems like they're always closed down for 15 minutes. I don't know what that's about. But they just lost my $1.08 that I was going to get a Diet Coke with. Because I don't know if I want to drive all the way back to the other one. Oh, but anyway, so Melissa and I were like in love with this Marsh superstore, right? This grocery store, right? We had them all around Indianapolis. Well, they closed all of them down this year, last year. And Melissa and I were devastated because they were just kind of like a local thing and we loved them, you know? Well, I'm gonna see if I have enough change to get a Coke. Oh, God, I just keep on pulling dollars out of here like nobody's business. Isn't that so funny? There's a dime. So, there was this woman, I would go in there late at night, you know? And I would get food. They had these things in there that I absolutely love. They were like these little pinwheel things, but not like the sandwiches. And they would have hummus in the middle of them. And oh my God, they were so good. And I loved them. And they like made them in like the deli. And I would get those. And they were like $200 for like 8 like little pieces. Or $200. 200 calories for 8 little pieces. And so I would get like 2 of them. And that would be like my like dinner for a night. Like when I was dieting. I don't know if I ever showed them on here or not. Because Marsh would have been around when I was like still vlogging. So anyway, there was this woman that worked there at the one by our house, which they're turning into an Aldi. And well, this is so funny tonight on the phone. She's like, I mean, it's Aldi and I like Aldi. She's like, but it's not Marsh. And I really wish it was a Marsh, but it's an Aldi and I think that it'll be okay. But so, but there was this woman that worked in there and she always worked overnight. It was at the end and I didn't even know it. But there was this woman and she worked there overnight and she was real nice. And like she was friends with all the police officers and the police officers would like come in there. Like they, you know, would sit in there and they sat in the parking lot and they protected her and stuff like that. She was like one of like 3 people that worked in this grocery store overnight, right? She was the only one that worked as a cashier. And really efficient, like really just knew her job. She had worked in there forever. Like, I mean, as long as the store had been open, I think she worked there 3rd shift. And was just super friendly. And, you know, I remember every year for Christmas and Thanksgiving, she would, like, at her house, because she was off those days, she would tell me that she, like, threw this huge, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner for the police. And that they would all stop by, like, during their shift or whatever, and they would eat and then go into their shifts, and she would have, like, the football game on for them and all this kind of stuff. She was super nice. Like, she was just, like, this really... I loved this woman. She was real chatty and real talkative, and I don't know, I just... Like, you could tell she just really took pride in her job. So, and just loved everything about it, you know, and just a really good person. So tonight I was at Kroger, and I was checking out in this line that was a mile long, and I look, and she's like in the lane checking stuff out for herself. And I saw like she had a name tag on of where she works now, and which was interesting to me in its own. But I just kind of looked at her and I thought, like, that's so sad. Like, I don't know. I was gonna go up and say hi to her, and I thought she ain't gonna remember me. You know, it's weird how you, like, know people in situations like that. I mean, I know people that work in gas stations because we get fountain pops, you know, or all over the place. And it's like, I get these weird kind of attachments on people that I talk to just kind of randomly, you know? And I was sitting there looking at her, and I, like, really wanted to go up to her and be like, hey, I haven't seen you in forever. I used to come into Marsh. Do you remember me? And I thought, she probably doesn't want to be bothered. I'm probably just some customer to her, you know, which goes back to how I always am with people anyway, my whole life. But I was like, you know, I don't want to bother her, and she probably doesn't remember who I am. But, like, she made an impact on me in, like, a really positive way. I don't know. I probably should have gone up and said something to her, whatever. Sad, though, like, you know, like, I can't tell you, like, how many gas stations I go into regularly, or Tanya and I do, right? And we get real attached to the people that work in there. And then it's like, all of a sudden we go in one day and we're like, oh, where's, you know, Judy? And they're like, oh, Judy doesn't work here anymore. Well, what happened? She got fired. Oh, okay. Or, oh, she quit. She quit 2 days ago. She just didn't come in for a shift anymore. And it's like, for 2 years, we talked to Judy 5 nights a week. You know what I mean? We joked with Judy. We asked Judy questions about her life. Oh, now Judy doesn't work here anymore, and we're never going to see Judy again. I know it's weird, but, like, at the same time, it's like... But I feel like I talk to more and more people, and they're like, yeah, I know people that work in the gas stations. I know people at the grocery stores. So maybe it's not such a weird thing, you know? My husband's always like, how do you know these people? I'm like, I talk to them when I go into the stores and stuff. I do think, though, like, when I was younger, my mom did that kind of stuff, and it would have totally been like, I would have been like, Mother, stop talking to everybody. Oh my God, why are you talking to everybody? And now I don't know a stranger, you know? YouTube's actually been really good for me about that. Like, I wasn't like that really before YouTube, you know? I'm now I'm more comfortable in my own skin and talking to people that I don't know, and, you know, just striking up some kind of conversation, and, you know, I didn't used to be like that. I like that part of myself. It's almost kind of easier for me to talk to, this is gonna sound crazy, not my close friends like, you know, Tanya and Melissa and Valerie and stuff like that, but it's almost sometimes easier for me to talk to a total stranger than it is to talk to a friend, or like somebody that I kind of know, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of hard. Not like a friend, but like if I'm at like a baby shower or a wedding, I hate like those situations. I'm just horrible in those situations. Has anybody had that Popeyes chicken sandwich? I just drove by Popeyes. Everybody's going crazy about that chicken sandwich. And now, apparently they have this thing where you can bring your own bun. Have you heard about that? Yes, you can bring your own bun because apparently they're running out of the buns. But, so is it just a chicken sandwich on a bun and that's all that it is, and people are going crazy about this chicken sandwich and all it is just a piece of chicken on a bun? I don't get it really, but I don't get it, but I don't think it matters if I get it or not. McDonald's is now hiring managers and crew if you'd like to find a job over here. Open 24 hours unless they're closed down for 15 minutes. I take you guys through 3 different McDonald's. Do you not feel so honored? Now watch, this car's gonna come around and go through. This car behind me, there's a car in front of me. The car behind me is gonna come around and it's gonna go into the side one and it's gonna get waited on first. I almost thought about doing it, but I didn't. Yep, he just went to the side one. Damn it. It's a game. I get my hair cut this week. In case you care. In case you care, I get my hair cut this week. I forgot somebody texted me. I was going to text them back when I got up from my nap. Do you ever do that? I am so bad about texting people. I like woke up and I was like, I looked at my phone. I was like, oh. Yeah, I just want him to know that he was here after me and he got to go first. That pisses me off. I mean, not really, but. Bundled cheese one snack wrap.
What have you?
Can I get a large Diet Coke, please?
Okay.
That's it.
109, second window.
How is it 109 here and the McDonald's at the street, it's 108? It's like the biggest mystery in the world to me. 109, second window. They have all kinds of racks in that one. This guy in front of me that I was just talking about, he is all up on the Facebook. I can see it from here. He's scrolling through it. He just stopped on something. And this guy's picture. He's literally like holding it up like this. Like almost like it's weird. It's almost like he wants me to see it. But I don't really care to see your Facebook. I don't even really care to see my Facebook. That movie like creeped me out. It didn't creep me out in like a way like I'm scared to like go to my house. Like it wasn't that. It was like psychologically suspenseful. You know what I mean? Last night, so like when I go to my vlog, like you have like 3 pictures that you can pick from. Like it self-creates a thumbnail for you. I was literally sitting here telling a story. The battery died right on me. Okay, so, and this battery, I don't think has a whole lot of juice left in it, so I don't know how long it's gonna last. But anyway, so I was creating a thumbnail for my vlog that I posted earlier, and it's like, so YouTube comes up with like 3 thumbnails, right? Like that you can pick from, or you can like, you know, make your own thumbnail. This guy is like walking up to these cars. What is going up here on here? What is he doing? I don't know what he's doing. He's like walking up to the cars. Did you see this? Did you just see that? Be still my heart. He like walked right behind my car. Okay, so anyway, he was like walking up to each car and he was like waving to us. So there's always like 3 thumbnails that you can pick from, right? And it could be like anything, like it could be like perfect picture, like, or it could be like I'm talking and I'm like, you know what I mean? Like you never know what it's gonna be, right? Well, today all 3 of them were really good. I know that sounds totally arrogant and stupid, but let me just tell you that I think for like the last 2.5 years, there hasn't been one good thumbnail picture on there. I always have to picture it, it's like this, and I'm like triple chinned or whatever, you know what I mean? I was like, not that YouTube picked 3 really good pictures for my vlog today, thank you. Now, on my other channels, like, okay, so on my Peter Mon channel, of course, I always make my thumbnails. My Peterisms, it depends. And most times I don't make my thumbnails, I just pick one from off there. My Peter Likes Books, it depends. But typically I just pick one from off of there. But they're usually just me sitting there anyway, you know, in the chair. And then the Peter Review stuff, I always make one. I got real fancy twice and made it on like the Pick Monkey, you know, on the app on the computer, and nobody cared. And I was like, I'm not getting fancy with this stuff anymore. Nobody cares. Those were called test subjects. I took a shower last night before I hung out with my friends, and now my hair is like, look at it, from being in bed all day long. It's a mess of trouble. What did they order? 15 Big Macs or something? Like, God. 2 fish sandwiches with, oh, they got the world's smallest bag for being here that long. I should try to hand him his change and he gets drove on out of here. Please let me document every moment of me sitting in the drive-thru at McDonald's. I can't figure out what this guy is doing. He's like going back and forth between looking at his Facebook. Like he's holding, I almost, like, I'm not going to show him, obviously, but he's holding his Facebook, his thing like this, and he's scrolling up a picture and stopping, and then he turns and he looks at me in the rearview mirror. It's the weirdest thing, you guys. There, he just did it again. Okay, now he's getting his food. Oh, he's like staring. Oh, she's got his credit card. He ran off because he was staring at me in the rearview mirror. Oh, he's got a gay bumper sticker. Well, maybe that's what it was all about. You know I still look good.
1 second, please. Lars Dayeko?
He was too busy staring me down in the rearview mirror. That's why he drove off. No, it's the truth.
He said, 1 second. Leslie, luego se coló. Hey, what's up for mi credit card?
Hey, have a good one. Bye. That totally made my night, so you know. That whole interaction there.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Well, I was trying to see if, like, somehow somebody can help me out get something to eat somehow.
I can't hear what he's saying. You know what they say about the full moons and all that. The full moon's over my hammy. Okay, now where to? So when we go to, so it's our favorite waiter, but he only works there 1 day a week because he works somewhere else. He like, has like a profession somewhere else. So anyway, he's so funny and we just like love him, and like Alex has seen him out and stuff like that. He's just a really nice guy. And so when we go in there, he always is like wanting to make us, well, he did, oh, I don't have it in here anymore. Well, today he made me a latte because he's always like, so like they have coffee that you can go up and like, you pay for it, but like you go up and you get it yourself and you put sugar and cream and stuff, right? But like he'll be like, do you want an espresso? And I'm like, no, I'm good with my coffee. He's like, let me make you an espresso. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And then he'll be like to Alex, do you want an espresso? And Alex is like, no. And he's like, oh no, I make a perfect espresso. I put a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And he's like, it's perfect, you'll love it, right? And so today it was so funny because he was like, oh, we got a new espresso machine. And we're like, you did? And he was like, let me make you an espresso. And it totally reminded me of the guy from Beverly Hills Cop. Do you guys remember that? And I said to him, I go, oh my God, this reminds me so much of this. Because he was like, let me make you a latte. He goes, do you want a latte? He goes, oh no, I put a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it totally reminded me of that scene. And so I said, oh my God, this reminds me so much of this scene from this movie. I go, you probably haven't. He goes, I've seen every movie. And I go, have you seen Beverly Hills Cop? He goes, I think so, maybe, I don't know. And I go, well, have you seen it or not? It's with Eddie Murphy and he's a detective and he goes to Los Angeles. He goes, I think I have seen that, yes. And I said, I go, do you remember that scene when he's like ordering the espresso and whatever, and he was like, he looked at me and he goes, no. And I go, you don't remember this scene? And Alex knew the scene I was talking about, so he was laughing. I go, the scene with the guy in The art gallery, or he goes, the scene with the guy when he goes to visit his friend, and I couldn't remember that he was in an art gallery, and he looked at me and he goes, in an art gallery? And I go, yeah, and he goes, yes, I remember that scene. He goes, I'm nothing like him. I go, oh my God. But he did make us a latte. He made Alex an espresso, and he said it was really good, and he made me a latte to take with us, so that was really nice. I feel like I know everything. We have like 3 restaurants that we go to regularly, and you know, that place is one of them for our brunch. And I feel like we know everything about every waiter and every waitress that works in there. We know their husbands and wives' names. We know about their families. We know about their school, their education, where they came from, where they grew up. And they know everything about us too. They treat us so well in there. And the thing I love about it is that, like, when we go on Sundays, we went yesterday too, but when we go on Sundays, there's like probably 5 other couples that are there at the same time that we are. And they're older couples too. And they're always, like, they're regulars just like us. They're in there all the time. There's also, like, they have a little bar that you can sit at. Not a bar. It's not like a bar. They don't serve alcohol. Well, they do serve alcohol. They serve mimosas and stuff like that. And I think they might serve, like, one kind of beer, but that's about it. But it's like a diner bar. You know what I'm talking about? And they'll have... I just bit the side of my mouth. And they'll have people sitting there. And then it's, like, always, like, the same 4 or 5 people every Sunday when we're there that are sitting at the little diner bar. I think I would have done really, really well growing up in just a really small town, you know, where I knew everybody. I don't know, maybe. If everybody liked me, I mean, it would be hell if nobody liked you, then it would be a totally different story. Then I want to get the hell out, you know. But I think, like, had I grown up in a little town like that where I knew everybody, or if I lived in a town like that today, I think... I don't know. If you read the Pines series by Blake Crouch... Here's where the question comes, okay? When I was reading that, I was like, I could totally live there for the rest of my life and not ever question it. That was a good series. He's got a bunch of other books that I haven't read that I thought about reading too. Oh. Right there. Boat and RV storage. I don't see a whole lot of boats being stored out there. I drove this to McDonald's, back to a different McDonald's. Does it look familiar in outside? So that I could go get a Diet Coke. There's an alarm going off somewhere. Oh, I think it's at the Home Depot or whatever that is. I'm gonna drive by there and see real quick. Because it looked like the light was flashing. That sounds like a case for Investigator Peter. No, 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 no. Did you guys ever watch Moonlighting back in the day? I loved that show so much. They're all on YouTube, if you want to know, okay? I have the pilot VHS. Do you hear that? Let's go investigate. But I used to watch Moonlighting with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. I love that. And that Allison girl, I can't think of what her name is. But anyway, she was the one that read all the poems at the beginning when she would answer the phone. She worked in the office. But anyway, I have the pilot episode on VHS. What is going on? I can't tell if it is that or not. But their thing over their door is going off. Do you want to know what's really weird? Is there is a minivan sitting down here in the corner. I don't feel like it's coming from there. Because it was louder. I wonder where it's coming from. But anyway, I love that show, Moonlighting. I wanted to be a detective for so long. But I just have to tell you that they are all on YouTube. All of the Moonlighting episodes. I think it is that. The door is straight up open right there. You can see it's like flashing. Like has this blue light that's like flashing like crazy like that at the Home Depot. So that means somebody must have tried to open the door, or what an animal did. I can't believe somebody's not out there yet trying to fix that. Well, let's drive down here and then we'll drive back, and we'll see if by the time we drive back if it's still going on. Did you ever see that movie Blow Up back in the day with John Travolta? Okay, I had to cut part of this out because I was talking about the movie Blow Up. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Okay, with John Travolta, and he captured something on film that he's not supposed to capture. And so I went back to the parking lot. The alarm's still going off. I went back to the parking lot and like scanned by there, and I was like just to show you guys the flashing light, and then I got like real spooked, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take that part of it out. And it just is what it is. I'm not gonna leave that in there because it like scares me then that I would have something in there I wasn't supposed to have. Okay, because I started talking about that movie and then it got in my head, and then I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so anyway. If you don't know the story of Blow Up, the story is that John Travolta is like taking like photographs, I think, or film of something of this like bicentennial thing, or I can't remember. It was like, anyway. But he captures something on film, and it's literally like just in 2 seconds, right? But then like all these people are like hunting him down. They even did like a remake of it. I don't remember what the remake was called, but they did a remake of it. And so it was getting in my head, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I need somebody chasing me down because I captured something on film in a vlog because I was wondering what was going on at the Home Depot. I don't care that deep, okay? So I didn't see anything. I'm just saying I didn't see anything. But anyway. So we will just keep on driving. But it didn't look like there was anything going on there anyway. There was like no cars. The minivan that was in the parking lot was like for sale or something. It didn't look like there was anything going on in the parking lot. It just looked like the door was going off. There was nothing going on. So it probably was just like an animal or something. Anyway. Pretty outside tonight. I'm wondering when it's going to start getting cool. Usually by the 1st of October it starts getting cool, you know, and it's like sweater weather and stuff like that. I need to pull down some of my sweaters and get ready for all of that. Did you guys experience any full moon weirdness? I feel like everywhere I went, when I would like talk to somebody about what was going on, it would just be something random. Like, a long line at a gas station, they'd be like, well, you know, it is the full moon. And I'd be like, okay, but that doesn't really explain like a long line at the gas station. You know what I mean? Or it would be something just like, where was I when I was talking to somebody and they were like, well, you know, the full moon. And I was like, well, the full moon is like supposed to be like crazy stuff happens. It doesn't really mean like long lines. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny that people said that stuff. Somebody in my comment section that it said it's not going to be another full moon on Friday the 13th till 2049. Is that the truth? Say it ain't so. That makes me sad. Do we ever see another Haley's Comet or whatever it's called, another comet in our lifetime? I saw a shooting star the other night. They're always so pretty, aren't they? But they're gone about as fast as you notice them. Do you make wishes on them? I still make wishes on the shooting stars. What was that song back in the day, Shooting Star? Do you remember that song? That movie Ma had a lot of songs that reminded me of high school. Well, I was trying to figure it out. They must have, like, the parents in the movie must have been in high school at about the same time that I did. Although, I feel like costume designers in movies completely get the late 80s wrong. Like the outfits they wore were not like stuff that we wore in the late 80s. I don't know, maybe it was. I just like, I mean, I'm not even talking just like me and my friends. I'm talking about like everybody. I remember how people dressed, and I don't remember people dressing the way that they like portray us sometimes dressed. Or has it just been so long that it's just like, I have no grasp of reality of what we really looked like back then. That must be it. I don't know. We might just, all of us looked like a bunch of fools and didn't realize it. That place. There's a new Mexican restaurant. Oh my god, the new Mexican restaurant is called Tequila Sunrise. Or was it called that before? I don't know. That Mexican restaurant has been so many different things. And there's this Mexican restaurant by us, and it is literally like, I mean, it has been 15 different names. It was Cancun at one time, that chain Cancun, you know? And then it was like, but before it was Cancun, it was La Hacienda. Oh, no. There's two La Haciendas, but the time before it was like La Hacienda. Or which one did she, I wonder which one she went to. Melissa and Jason, so they went and had brunch the other day, and they like took a picture and they sent it to us. And so I was talking to her on the phone. Was it when I talked to her on the phone, or where did I see them? Oh, it was for the Horror Hound Fest. I go, where did you guys go for brunch? And she goes, La Hacienda. And I was like, oh, really? Because Melissa calls this one place, even though it's changed names like 6 times, she always calls it Hacienda. But then there's La Hacienda that's like locally owned, and like all the chairs are painted different. It's beautiful inside. I wonder if that's where she went for brunch, but I don't think they have outside. She showed pictures outside. I don't think they have outside seating. I don't know. So I was telling Alex at brunch, I think this was the story I was going to tell yesterday and I never told it, that I saw like on our local news on Twitter or something. I follow like the local news on Twitter, but there, it's always cases from like other states. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, they had on there this case that happened in Florida. Did I talk about this already on here? Maybe I did, I don't know, but it completely freaked me out. We were talking about this at brunch yesterday. That this guy had gone missing 40 years ago. He told his, I swear I probably told this story last night, I just don't remember, you guys. But he told his girlfriend, he was like at a bar or something, he called her and he said, I'll be home in like a half an hour, and he never showed up. And they never found him, and they never knew what happened to him or anything, right? And so 40 years go by, and they still don't have an answer about what happened to him. Well, some neighbor in the neighborhood was like on Google Earth looking something up, and there was like this huge recession pond lake or whatever, like right next to the housing addition. And he like looked in Google Earth, and you could see that there was like this calcified car there. And they pulled this car out, and his like calcified body was inside of it or something. Is that not so crazy? I couldn't believe it. weird stuff goes on. I think I always get kind of freaked when I'm out in the country and I'm like at a stoplight and my car shuts off like it always does because it has that thing in it, you know, to save gas. But it always reminds me of like when you're watching a scary movie, a horror movie, and the car won't start and you're out in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like that's what it reminds me of. Pretty spooky. Tookie, Tookie, how'd you get so spooky? He was running around today being hilarious. Tucker's like the scarediest of all of them though. Like if something happens, he like runs right back inside. Boo Radley's scared, but like if somebody comes out, if Pee-Pee's out there, then Boo Radley's not scared. He's like, oh, but he's like looking at Pee-Pee the whole time. Like, is Pee-Pee right there to back me up? Pee-Pee's not scared of anything. Pee-Pee knows that. He thinks he runs the world. He's like, I'm in charge of everything. Don't even worry about it. He really isn't scared of anything. Boo Radley is terrified of thunderstorms. Tucker and Pee-Pee, they don't care at all. It doesn't bother them at all, but Boo Radley is terrified. I mean, he literally climbs up my chest, and it's like scratches in my skin and stuff. And I've been meaning to get him one of those, like, thunder coats, thunder jackets. I heard that they work really well, you know, for dogs. If you guys have one, if you have a dog and you put him in those thunder coats when it, like, is thunderstorming outside, will you let me know if it works for you? Thinking about getting one of those for him. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now. And I'm gonna go home and go to sleep early. I'm not gonna watch Orange is the New Black, I don't think. If I get home, by the time I get home, if I decide I wanna watch Orange is the New Black, I will. But I think I wanna go home and watch Orange is the New Black and lay down for a little bit or not lay down for a little bit, lay down for, scratch that. I think I'm gonna go home and not watch Orange is the New Black and just go to bed and get a good night's sleep. And then that way I'll be all rested for my training tomorrow and I can get up and do my training and be back on the Optavia program, and then I'll feel good tomorrow about all that choices. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. I hope you're having an amazing Monday. Unless you have other plans. This construction just started right here, and it's so interesting to me because it literally started like a week and a half ago, and it's all of a sudden, like, here, I'll show you when I drive by. You can see it. But it's like huge. They already have all of this stuff like built up there, and it looks like they're building like a gravel pit or something. But anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, unless you have other plans. Wait. I hope you're having an amazing Monday unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Enjoy it. Relax. What's that song? Relax, don't do it. Anyway, enjoy your day the most. You know, have fun. Do something different. Eat somewhere different for lunch or dinner tonight. Or today or tonight. I really can't speak today, can I? Just make the best of today. You're exchanging a day of your life for it, and life is not a dress rehearsal. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, preferably when you're starting your day, and you know, you validate yourself, and you look in the mirror and you say, I love you, you are valuable, you are important to this world, and you give yourself positive affirmations and tell yourself positive affirmations, or tell yourself positive affirmations. And most importantly, that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know how important they are to you. How many of you do that? Have any of you out there started that? Like, I try to, you know, remind myself of that every day to let other people know how important they are to us and how other people, you know, impact our lives in a positive way. I think it's important to let people know that. And I love you, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Love ya. Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Well, I did it again. I slept straight through the night. It is currently 6:08 a.m. on Saturday. So this is Friday's vlog. but I feel really rested. So the reason why it's a problem is not so much that I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and filming my vlog, which I'm sure is strange to a lot of people, but it's not strange to me. Actually, I saw my neighbor yesterday, my new neighbor that moved in. She was like, "You have kind of crazy hours." And I said, "Yeah." And she knew that I like make videos for YouTube. And I was explaining to her what I do, and I said, you know, sometimes I like to go to sleep with Alex, and so like I'll go to sleep with Alex, and then I'll wake up and be like, "Oh my god, I forgot, you know, I still have to go vlog," and so I'll go outside and I'll vlog and whatever. And she was like, "That's so much fun that you get to do that." And I was like, "Yeah, I love it," you know. So anyway, it wouldn't really be a problem today because I would go back home and maybe go back to sleep for a couple hours, although I'm weirdly like awake. And I think the reason is because I literally got 7+ hours of sleep. I slept straight through the night. I mean, I was out. I remember like Alex and he like put his hand across my chest, and we were like talking about today or Saturday, and I turned like, and I was like, "Good night, babe, love you," and I like turned over and I was out. Like, I don't remember anything after that, and he was on his phone when I told him good night. So it is cold in Indianapolis. It is 30 degrees. Oh, but the reason why like it usually wouldn't matter, but today it does, is because today is Carlitos' birthday party, which is at 2 p.m. and I'm meeting Alex there because he has like work stuff he has to do today. And then I got some water before I left. I was so thirsty for water. You know, and of course I want to make videos and stuff, so we've got to figure out a time to do that, because we're apparently going to his birthday party at 2 o'clock. I'm sure that will probably go 2 hours, 3 hours, and then we're supposed to go back over to Carlos and Liliana's for like, to hang out and do like birthday cake or something over there. So it'll end up being this very long deal. Well, I also have my audiobook that I have to listen to. And so my plan had been to really drive around tonight, Saturday night, and listen to like 4 hours of it. That had been my plan, to listen to 4 hours on Saturday night and 4 hours on Friday night, sorry, and 4 hours on Saturday night, and then have the whole thing done. I know there are some people that are like so confused right now, like what day it is and whatever, watching this. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's like Janice Joplin said, it's all the same effing day, man. But you know, like, I was gonna listen to 4 hours on Friday night. I was gonna get my vlog done early, and then, because that's why I laid down at like 10:30 and something like that, and I was gonna lay down from 10:30 to like 11:30, I think is when I set my alarm, and then get up, and I was gonna vlog from like 11:30 to 12:30, and then I was going to listen to my audiobook till like 4:30 in the morning. And then tonight, I was gonna listen to like another 4 hours throughout the day, and then I'd have the book done. Well, now I've screwed myself because it is the day before the live stream. We may have to move the live stream. I just don't know how I'm possibly gonna get this book done in 24 hours. I don't know. I need to talk to Mel about it today. I mean, it's not like it's a huge ordeal. There's only like 30 people that come to the live stream, which is great. You know, I mean, I've never in a million years thought I'd ever have a book club that had that, you know, 30 to 50 people that attend. Here's my coffee lip balm. There's like 2,000 people that are active, like, well, 2,000 people in the book club. And of course, not everybody reads the book every month, but there's quite a few people that read the book that just don't come to the live stream. I would do the live streams on YouTube since I figured that out. But last time we guested a bunch of people. that water tastes so good. But last time we guested a bunch of people, and I want to be able to do that again, and you cannot do that on YouTube Live anymore. Plus, I can kind of like moderate what's going on a little bit easier. The fact that it's smaller, I don't know, keeps it just a little bit nicer. So, because it doesn't go so fast, you know. So that's supposed to be on Sunday at 4 p.m. I'm gonna have to talk to her today and see what we're gonna do. I don't want to go into it just not having finished the book. I like the book. I just don't know that there's any way that I can possibly get it done. That means I have to listen to 9 hours in 24 hours. I just don't know that there's any possible way that I can get that done. So anyway, but I had kind of planned that on Saturday I wasn't sure that I was going to make videos anyway because of Carlitos' birthday party, and I just kind of wanted to be with family and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just take the day. But on Friday, because I was so busy, I had like all this sobriety stuff to do on Friday. I was like, I had like this commitment in the early evening, and then I was had to meet with a friend of mine in the afternoon. And I was like, well, maybe, but I ended up making videos on Friday. So, okay, what did I do? I got up, and like I said, this vlog, did I say this already? This vlog is not going to be super long. It just can't be, you guys, today, because I have too many things. I'm on my way currently, well, I'm in the direction of, whenever I finish vlogging, I'll probably go in there and do it. I'm in the direction of going to get Carlitos' birthday present. Alex already got him something. He got him a bunch of Spider-Man stuff. Apparently when he was at Target. So Alex got off work yesterday and he went over and picked up Sarah, and then they went to Target and he bought Carlitos' birthday present. He was gonna get it from both of us, but I was like, no, I wanna get him something too. So when he was there, he FaceTimed Carlitos and like was showing him stuff, and I was like, well, that makes it real exciting for the kids. So he got him like the Spider-Man stuff. He really wants a remote control car, so I think I'm gonna get him a remote control car is what I'm gonna do. People are up and early at Denny's this morning. So yeah, that's the direction I'm going in. But anyway, what was I gonna say? So this is gonna have to be a short vlog today. I got up on Friday and I'm trying to think of what I did. Oh, like I got up and I took the dogs out, gave PP his medication, and then I had to like leave and get out of the house because I had to go meet up with my friend. And so I went and met up with my friend for coffee. And then I had a bunch of errands to run after that. My day seemed to go so quick because I didn't leave there until like 3, and then I had to be at this recovery commitment thing at 5, and so it was like my day went super fast. I came home in between and I filmed. Did I do it afterwards or before? No, I did it afterwards. After, so like I'm just saying it was like an hour long. It's like an hour and a half long. And then I got home about 6:45 and I filmed a video for my Peter Mon channel, and then I filmed a video for my Peterisms channel, and I wanted to do a review video, but I didn't get to it. And, not enough hours in the day. That's how I feel. I was thinking about this yesterday because I announced my book and my Peterisms channel that, so I'm going to start doing this like every month on my Peterisms channel. I'm going to read a book. There's going to be like, it's like kind of like a read along, not necessarily like a book club, but like a read along. self-help or motivational book. And so for November, I'm reading The Four Agreements, and by Don Miguel Ruiz. I've never read it before. I heard it was fantastic. And but I was thinking about like how in my life I've had people like criticize me and be like, you're always starting things, you're always like new ideas, and you sometimes like don't like your ideas never, come to fruition, but a lot of times they do, A lot of my ideas that I've started, like a book club or like a vlog or whatever, have taken on a life of their own, or YouTube. When I started doing YouTube on BookTube, that was like when I was committed to like posting regularly. I never thought, and I never in a million years thought that it would turn into this, where it literally became my life. I just really had no idea. And that was just 3.5 years ago. So it's crazy how, much your life can change in such a short amount of time. I posted this picture yesterday on my Instagram, and I was like, can't wait to be back. It was like from Miami, and I was like, can't wait to be back in Miami, or be back in Miami next week or something. Will be our second home, hopefully very soon or something. Oh my God, I got so many people from like my personal life that called me and was like, are you moving? Did you not tell us something? Blah, 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 whatever. Like Melissa texted me and she was like, are you moving to Miami? What's going on? I was like, Melissa, we were just at your house last night. Don't you think we would have told you? And, but we have kind of been on the down low looking at houses, and it's been very exciting. We have some areas picked. And we kind of did anyway, that we, like, areas that we were looking at. I would love to be right in South Beach, but that's just not realistic. It's just too expensive. And as much as I like that Brickell area, which is one of the areas that we looked at, I just don't know that we can afford that. Like, I just think, I just don't want to be house poor. For a second home, that we're not going to be in all the time. And it's not really in an area that you could Airbnb it. You could, but I don't know that. I don't know. And that's not really what I want to do with a place anyway. Like, if I have my own second place, like, I want to have my own second place that I can go to whenever I want. But, so anyway, yeah, I don't think I really want to say a whole lot more about that right now. But we are seriously starting to look at some places. The other thing is that we would never move completely from Indianapolis. We would go back and forth. PB had a great day today. He was weird. I don't know if maybe it's the weather and now he's used to it or what, but he woke up today, and what is this sandwich called? It says, is it called a Pilgrim? And it's like all turkey. The Pilgrim, it is. And it's like, oh, a Thanksgiving feast in every bite, and it's cranberry sauce and turkey, and at the Get Go gas station. They should sponsor my channel, the Get Go, for me sending people to go eat their Thanksgiving feast sandwich. See, that's like something that sounds good if I wasn't a vegetarian. But like turkey almost sounds worse to me though than a cheeseburger, in all honesty. PB did great today. I think he coughed like once the entire day, and he was super active, and he was running around in the backyard. I don't know if maybe he's just, now it's 34 degrees, that's so weird. Maybe he is just used to the weather. I think what happened was the night before I had felt bad for him because he just seemed so hungry. And he doesn't like that food. So I gave him like a huge plate of Boo and Tucker's food, and he literally ate it down in like 2 seconds. And I think it just made him sick. I think like he was like, his little stomach couldn't handle it. And I thought I was doing something right, you know. He just hates that food that he eats. Like, he hates it. Like, tonight we put it down and he wouldn't eat it. And you know what was so funny was, I stood in the kitchen finally and I was like, Pee-Pee, I was like, that food is perfectly fine. You need to eat your food, Pee-Pee. And he looked up at me and then he started eating the food. When I stood right there, he ate it. Like, ate it. And, like, not like just nibbled around it, but like he ate it. But then he did that for like 5 minutes, and then he looked up at me and he like walked away. And like half the plate was left. I was like, damn it, Pee-Pee. You know, and our vet had always said, she said, I would rather have a lean dog with a heart with heart disease than a heavy dog with heart disease. So, you know, she's always happy with his weight, but I don't want him to get thin. Like, I don't want him, you know. And Pee-Pee's never been heavy, and he's never been super thin. So, but he's doing much better today. He was running around the backyard and chasing his brothers, and then I had to, like, he's so funny. At one point, like, Boo and Tucker came inside, and I was like, Pee-Pee. I was like, come on, Pee-Pee, let's go inside. Let's have treats. And he just, like, looked at me. And so I, like, walked inside, and I was, like, doing some other stuff, and I came back out there, because, like, he just walked around the backyard, and I go, Pee-Pee, I go, come on, we gotta have treats, let's go. And he just, like, stopped and looked at me, and then he kept on, like, sniffing the grass. So I let him keep on walking around. I went back out there like 3 or 4 minutes later. And I go, Pee-Pee, I go, you better come on. And he just stopped and looked at me, and I go, okay, I guess no treats then. And he came like running inside. It was so funny. It's so weird, you know, like Alex said to me yesterday, he said, I'm starting to worry that maybe Pee-Pee is starting to wind down. You know, that they, because like a lot of what we've read, I need to stay off those articles, but like, my vet always tells me that. She's like, every situation is completely different. Do not read articles about that stuff. But, you know, they'll say, oh, dogs with heart disease start to wind down, and they get real lethargic at the end, and they lose their appetite. You know, it's like, so I pick, you know, and choose symptoms that Pee-Pee has and put them all together and basically say, well, it's over, you know. And then I get real worried and real stressed out. And so Alex was like, yesterday, he was like, because Pee-Pee just didn't seem himself at all. And he was like, I think maybe he's starting to wind down. And Alex got real upset. And I was like, oh, I'm not ready for this. You know, I'm just not. I'm not ready for my life to change that drastically, I guess. And, I mean, we don't have any control, you know, over when pets go. I get so many, you know, comments in the comment sections from you guys. It just breaks my heart for you when you're like, oh, my, you know, I lost my dog today, or, and I always feel so horrible for you guys, you know. And I mean, I know it's a part of of life, you know, but so anyway, I was worried I was going to wake up and he was going to be 10 times worse than he had been on Thursday, but that wasn't the case. So he was 100% better, and I was very happy about it. And he's doing good this morning, because right before I left, I took them out, and he just leaped off the bed to go outside, and I took him outside, and then I gave him his morning medicine stuff, so. Anyway, I was singing that Donna song for Alex. I was like, oh, Donna. he was like, I was like, do you know that song? He was like, no. And I'd actually downloaded it like a couple weeks ago, and so I have it like on my iPad, or what do you call it when it's in your phone? Just your iTunes? Is that what you call it? Just your iTunes? I was like, here, I'm gonna play it for you. He was not impressed, and I was standing up and I was like swaying it, and I was using it as like a microphone, and I had a girl and I was her name. But my favorite part of this song, what's my favorite part? Well, it's not till the very end. I didn't realize it till I was listening to the song. It's like the last 30 seconds. So then I was like, do you know Richie Valens? And he was like, didn't he die in a plane? And I go, is that all you know about Richie Valens? And he goes, well, what do you know? And I go, didn't you see the movie? And he goes, what movie? And then I couldn't remember what the movie was called, you guys, and I had to like look it up. And I couldn't remember it, and I looked up Richie Valens movies. Well, apparently, to my idiocy, Richie Valens was like in a ton of movies, like in the 50s or 60s or whatever, you know, like Elvis was. And so it pulled up all of those movies, and I was like, what was that? And then all of a sudden it pulled up Lou Diamond Phillips' picture, and I was like, yes, Lou Diamond Phillips, that's who it is. And it was La Bamba, and I had totally forgot that it was da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, la-la-la-la-la-la-Bamba. So I said to Alex, this is truly what it is like living with me, just so you know. So for you 14 haters that dislike my video every day, this is what it would be like for you all the time. But anyway, I was like, do you know that movie? And he was like, what movie? And I was like, la 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 bamba. I know I missed or added a few laws in there. But anyway, I hope I got one of my haters to at least smile just a little bit, because y'all are so bitter. But anyway, better! He said, of course I know that movie. I go, well, you don't know Donna. He goes, well, who's Donna? And I go, Donna was his girlfriend in the movie. He goes, he died in a plane accident. I go, I know he died in a plane accident, Alex, but he had a girlfriend, her name was Donna, and he wrote a song for her. Was she his wife or something? I can see her in the movie. Whatever happened to Lou Diamond Phillips? So Alex and I tonight, I got done with my videos. He came home. I did not start my diet today. I'm sure it's a real surprise to people, and I'm real let down over it. But anyway, I was like, well, maybe Monday. Anyway, maybe Monday in June. I mean, it's just a joke, isn't it? So anyway, I got food, not healthy food either. I got Burger King. And so anyway, and sat there and ate, and he had all this chili, and we watched both episodes, the last 2 episodes of American Horror Story that we hadn't watched. It's so still on I was at the end and didn't even know it. It's so still on the lake this morning. But we watched both episodes of American Horror Story that we hadn't seen, and yeah, it was good. I might have gotten Burger King and a Crunchwrap Supreme. A black bean Crunchwrap Supreme. And my husband might have had several bowls of chili and 2 cookies from Melissa's. Look, it was Friday night. Anyway. So, yeah, so we watched American Horror Story. I'm trying to think what the episodes were. They were good. It just doesn't seem very cohesive to me this season. I'll have to say, this is one of the seasons, American Horror Story. It's called 1984 if you're not watching it. And it's basically like modeled after like 80s horror movie, of which you know I love. And like I was really excited about it when it started, and I'm not excited about it now. Like it's okay. Like I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy it. I enjoy having a show together that Alex and I watch. He really doesn't like the season, And, but I'm just not that excited about it. I just don't think it's that good. I find myself talking about other stuff. Like we were sitting there, we both love Billy Lords, I think is her name. And so he was like, he said something about her tonight. And I said, I love her. I said, she's fantastic. She was in Scream Queens too. And he was like, she just came out of nowhere. And I said, she's one of the richest women in Hollywood. And he goes, what? And I go, she's one of the richest women in Hollywood. And he said, we have this argument every time, he forgets who she is. And he goes, from doing Scream Queens in this show, no she's not. And I go, her mother was Carrie Fisher, and her grandma was Debbie Reynolds. I don't know why I can always never remember it's Debbie Reynolds. And I said, I think she and her brother split the inheritance or something like that. Or she and Carrie Fisher's brother split the inheritance or something like that. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I go, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia from Star Wars. He's like, I know. He was so cute tonight. Alex had all the dogs around him. But then because all the dogs, Boo and Tucker were like right together. It was so cute. But because so he sits down and then he puts the blanket over his lap. And then the dogs like all sit on the blanket around him. But then he thinks that is a reason to have me go get him things. So he was like, I have some sprees in there. But he said they were sweet tarts. He was like, I have some sweet tarts in there. Can you get those for me? And I went in there. And I was like, you mean sprees? He was like, yeah, sprees. Can you get me my sprees? I was like, yeah, sure. Then he was like, can you get me another blanket? Like, is there anything else you want me to do? Because you can't get up. He's like, I have the dogs. He kept on going, I have the dogs. Oh, man. I met a girl. Oh, that's my favorite part where it goes, oh, Jana. But that's at the very end, in case you want to know. It's like literally in the last 30 seconds. We went to a friend's house the other night that's like up the street, and we came from the other way, like down here, coming this way, and I never go down there. Like, I always turn around in this church, which is like out in the middle of nowhere anyway. If you live in Indianapolis, I'm in Oak Landon right now, which I have no reason to drive to Oak Landon, right? It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. So, but it's like the backside of Geist, which is where I grew up. So if you go down here, there's like a gas station and like strip malls and stuff like that. So we came from that direction and we were going over here, and Alex goes, said something about where, he goes, oh, I know where we are now. He was like, you know, me and so-and-so used to go to lunch over here all the time because Alex used to do a bunch of work stuff over here. And I was like, oh yeah. And all of a sudden we passed this church and I was like, that's that church that I turn around in all the time. It's at 800. The street is 800. Like 800 North or something. I can't see what it says. 800 Northwest or something. And I thought it said Boo on it. I was like, oh my God, it's Boo Street. That's so hilarious. And all of the corn is gone out here. Whenever I tell Alex that, like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I vlog out here. And he'll be like, you vlog out here? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you come out all the way out here and vlog. And I'm like, yeah, where do you think I vlog? Around our neighborhood? Like 200 times or something? I just got the biggest craving for a Dr. Pepper. I don't even know why. Doesn't that sound so good though right now, a Dr. Pepper? You're probably like, no. Why would you just randomly think of that? Because I do. It sounds delicious to me. I want to get a bunch of Christmas candles and Christmas stuff. I don't know when I want to put up the Christmas decorations this year. Well, really, it's just my little tree. But I might buy some other things this year and put it up too. But I don't want the house to be too cluttered. Although the other day I said to Alex, did he bring it up or did I bring it up? Because we were talking about getting new sheets. I love that comforter. I love so much. We might need to get like another one in a different color or something, so that when we clean them, we can just put the new one on. But he said, I was thinking about getting some new sheets, and I said, do you want to get another pair of sheets? Because I really liked that brand of jersey sheets I got. And that's what I meant. And he was like, yeah, do you want to get flannel? And I go, flannel? And he was like, I haven't had flannel sheets in forever, but I like flannel looking sheets that are jersey, you know? And he was like, yeah, you know, and because I had said to him, I said to him like a month or two ago, like, could we get some flannel sheets? So I like how they look, and I think they're cute and masculine and stuff. And he was like, yeah, he was like, we can get some flannel sheets. And then the other day he like mentioned it. He was like, are we going to get the flannel sheets? And I was like, well, we can. I can't believe that, like, I don't know what just made me think of this, that like every day of my dad's life, like he's been up for like 2 hours already. Like I know if I went to my dad's house right now, like he would have like read the newspaper, had like his first 2 cups of coffee for the day, and be like completely showered and dressed for the day, even on a Saturday. My dad was never like the type that, like, when he went into work, my dad is a super sharp dresser, and when I was a kid, he like went to Chicago and he got his suits from this store called Mark Shale in Chicago, and my dad always wore the coolest suits. Like in the winter, I just remember he had the most beautiful suits, and they were like, you know, all these tweeds, and you know, and then he would have just really pretty ties, and he always just looked like a college professor, you know, at Yale or something like that. And he wears little round rim glasses and stuff. And so anyway, my dad, my dad loves clothes, and he's just, but like those kind of clothes, you know, he's just a sharp dresser. But you know how like some people, like I can remember like when I was talking to Caroline, my cousin Caroline, about her dad, my Uncle Dave, and she would say, you know, Dad every day, no matter what, gets up and he puts on like khakis and like a button-down collared shirt, you know? Well, that is not my dad. That is not my dad. My dad is very much, like he gets up every day and takes a shower. He like gets up, reads the paper. My dad reads like every day, like the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, every single day. And drinks his coffee, and then probably reads some other book. My dad's always reading some obscure book about something that you would never, he goes to the bookstore and he buys like, he only reads nonfiction, and he buys like, you know, 5 or 10 books on topics that you have never heard of before, about things. He just reads everything random. So when we go and see him, he's always telling us about, you know, something completely random about like, this religious organization, you know, in this island that nobody's ever heard of. Not religious organization, but religious group or whatever, you know, or it'll be about a certain way to like, you know, make tea, or some animal that's extinct or something. He's always reading about all these like just really random things. But anyway, but like on the weekends, my dad would get up, you know, and he would, showered and ready, but he would always just like in the summer, you know, put on like shorts and a t-shirt. My dad always, so this idea of me collecting t-shirts wherever I go, my dad did it. And it wasn't so much like a thing that he collected. I wouldn't say that he collected them. He just always bought t-shirts wherever he went. So like, you know, my entire childhood was filled with my dad. My dad has worn Patagonia since I can remember. And he always would wear these like grayish or khaki Patagonia shorts that were kind of like mid-thigh, but they were like sailor shorts, because, you know, my dad always was on a boat, and because he had his own sailboat. And then he just was always on sailboats. He did like a lot of like medical missionary work on sailboats and stuff like that. So then he would have a t-shirt on top of it that would say like Honduras or, you know, St. Thomas or something, you know. He had all these t-shirts, mostly from like the Caribbean, that he would wear. And that he would get grabbed in the airport or whatever, or some bar that, you know, like restaurant, like in these places. My dad was like such a cool guy. He, and you know, he was single for a long time too, and he really enjoyed, I think, being single. And I mean, he enjoys being with my stepmom, but I think the time that he was single, he enjoyed it because he, every winter, it would scare my mom to death. This was after they were separated, but he would go to Banff, Alberta, Canada. I think that's correct. And he would hike in the Canadian Rockies by himself. I have several t-shirts from when I was a kid that said Banff on them, and he did too. But he would hike there when he was a kid, or when I was a kid, by himself. He would go up there for like 2 or 3 weeks. He actually dated this girl for a while that he met up there, and she was from Australia. She was from New Zealand, and she was like one of the editors on the movie The Man from Snowy River. But anyway, she was like a world traveler. That was before like people just had like a backpack and traveled, I remember. He was so excited. She came to like visit. She stayed for an extended period of time, and we like watched that movie, which I don't think I ever really understood. But anyway, and at the very end, her name was in the credits. But my dad, that was when he did a lot of traveling like that. That's when he did like a lot of the medical work, like in Honduras and places like that. My mom would be like, I can't believe that he's taking all these risks. That was when he went to the US Open. So, okay. My dad, so I come from a big tennis family. Like, my family loves tennis. So my dad went to the US Open one year, but he wanted to get like courtside. So he made up these, he bought a huge, my dad loves cameras, he always has. And so he had just bought this brand new Nikon camera, I think it was. And he had this like huge, what do you call it? Like neck thing. It was like this big, you know? And it was like one of these, it was like, this is in the 70s. This was like 78, right? And it was like, it looked like a camera strap, but that was like woven, like hippie woven, you know what I mean? It was very artsy and colorful. And he like grew a beard out so that he looked like just some like random photographer that was like, you know, and then he had these like jean cutoff shorts on, and like he has pictures of himself at his house, like, okay, and like these huge tube socks pulled up, and then he had on like just some t-shirt that said like St. Thomas or something on it, and he went with this huge camera, and he literally, I mean, this is back in the day, like today you couldn't do it probably, you know, but he made this like I can't, like Sports Illustrated or something like that. He made a press pass and laminated it. He laminated it and everything, and he went there and got courtside and literally got pictures of these guys courtside and at the US Open in New York City, and has pictures of him like, you know, down on one like, you know, knee like this, like taking pictures and stuff that people took of him. That's so funny that my dad did that. My dad is somebody that is like totally unafraid. Like he is unafraid and really, and we talk a lot about this word unbothered. Like he is really unbothered. Like it's funny how it has changed for him though over time. Like when I was younger, you know, like he would get really incensed is not really the word, but like, you know, if you told him something, he would get kind of heated about it. Not really heated, but like, okay, this isn't okay, and blah, blah, blah. He just isn't like that today. Like, if you tell him something, you know, he's just like, he just kind of laughs, you know, he's like, okay, you know, like, he just doesn't give things any time or energy that he doesn't care about. If that makes sense. Like, he loves his dog, he loves my stepmom, he loves me, he loves Alex, he loves the house, he loves being on the water, he loves his work. Other than that, he loves to read, he loves to travel. Other than that, he doesn't pay it a whole lot of attention. He just doesn't, you know? My jaw is hurting, I don't know why. Boo Radley is always the last dog to wake up, usually. Well, Pee-Pee has been the last couple days, but Boo Radley usually is. And Tucker's always the first one to wake up. But tonight, Boo Radley, I had to wake him up to take them outside. And Boo Radley was crying while he was dreaming. He was like, you know, running in his sleep. And he was like, Well, it was so cute. What do you think dogs dream of? You think they just dream of like running outside or chasing birds or eating snacks? Or when you think about the fact that like our dogs or cats or pets or whatever, they know us, and they kind of recognize probably some people on the street or friends that, or family that we have that come by, and that's the limitation of their world, you know? Although, like, as much as dogs seem to understand, I really think they understand a lot more than we give them credit for. I also think that dogs watch TV. I don't think they understand it, but I think they actually can see images. Like, I was reading something and it said a long time ago, and it said that dogs can't see like the images that are on a TV. And then I read something recently. Is that a new strip mall? What is that? What is that? Oh, I've got to go see what this is. Is this a Tide Cleaners drive-thru? What is that? I want to go there. I might have to try that for my review channel. But, then I read something recently and it said that dogs do know what is, this is like a brand new thing. It's kind of back here, kind of hard to get to though. That they do know, like when they're watching TV, what they're seeing. Which is funny because like our dogs watch TV. Boo Radley has no clue what's on that TV. But Pee-Pee kind of watches it and he kind of goes like this and watches it, you know? Tide Cleaners. I don't get it. Drive-through entrance. Do you think it's like you drop your clothes off? It's gotta be. I'm gonna look it up because I wanna know. I wanna know if she really loves me. Oh my God, they're everywhere. Dry cleaning and laundry. Wash and fold. Tide Cleaners planning to open 5 indie area franchises. Why can't I get to the article? I don't want to leave a comment. It says you must be logged in to leave a comment. I don't care to be I don't care. I just want to read the article. What's the problem? Tide Cleaners provides personalized washing, folding, dry, cleaning, and alterations. The future of laundry care, brought to you by America's #1 trusted brand. What are people going back to all of that? Like, oh, there's a little dog park in there. How cute is that by that apartment complex? But I will tell you what's funny is, it seems like it was so long ago that we didn't have a washer and dryer. Do you remember that period of time that we didn't have a washer and dryer? And we had to go to the laundromat, which I quite frankly loved going to the laundromat. Nowadays, it seems like, well, I don't right now, because our washer and dryer is so fast that, like, I put a load of wash in and then I get it done and then that's it. But it seems like I do a load of wash like every single day. I do something. Whether it's towels and linens. Actually, I need to do towels. We have so many towels though. We don't have so many towels to clean. We have so many towels, period. So like we clean them and then we put them, you know, away. And then we have more towels that we bring out. Because we always buy towels. It seems like whenever there's like a sale, like on nice towels, like, well, Alex is good about that, about buying towels. I usually buy like the bedding and he buys towels. So yeah. But I used to like always, like once we got the washer and dryer, I would always have something in the washer or the dryer and, you know, be like running it. I don't so much. I wonder if that place is open, that Rise place. It's interesting to me that a lot of these like brunch places are not open at 5 till 7 on Saturday morning. I'm really kind of surprised by that. I think Patachou's open by now. It's at the end and I didn't know it. I said this was gonna be short and look, it ended up being long. I'm awake now. I don't think that I'm gonna be able to go back to bed, which is fine because then I can just make my videos for the day that I wanna make and stuff. But, part of the problem is I don't know what I'm gonna make my videos about just yet. Well, I could drive around and listen to my audiobook. God knows I need to do that, so. What is with all this crazy construction? Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here now and just make this a little bit shorter, and I'll try to vlog longer tomorrow, you guys. Oh my God, this huge detour. What does it say? I'm gonna go this way, because I don't know how to go that way around. But anyway, I'm gonna get off here now, and listen to, I guess, my audiobook. I wanna get a Dr. Pepper. And I've gotta go, oh, I've gotta buy Carlitos' birthday present. I still have to go do that. So anyway, I'm gonna go to the Meijer and do that. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Enjoy your day, make the most of it. Do something today. Are you kidding me? This road is closed too. I feel like I'm stuck in a Twilight Zone. Anyway, do something today, road closed to through traffic. Do something today that that you're gonna look back on and be proud of or happy that you did. You're exchanging a day of your life for it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. And make sure that you look in yourself in the mirror. Back up. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say to yourself, I love you, you are valuable, you are important. Important. And you allow yourself to know your own self-value and your own self-worth. You gotta start telling ourselves that on a daily basis. And most importantly, make sure that you pass it on to somebody else and let them know that they are important to you. Live your life with compassion, love, and kindness. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!